Hey everybody, it's Tony George from DocSports.com. Tuesday morning happy hour. This is my NFL opening line report as we kick off another round of playoff games in the NFL. These are just initial reactions to the opening lines. They're not picks. Throw out a few leans maybe for you here. College football is out of the way now. Clemson throttled Alabama in the national title game on Monday. A lot of guys betting Clemson and the money line and the points. We're very happy with a 44-16 final. A lot of guys weren't happy last week that had the Bears and or Dallas. As a matter of fact, any of the favorites last week did not get it done. And I think dating back to last year, that's like 11 straight underdogs covering in playoff postseason action, including the Super Bowl, which unheard of. 4-0 last week for the underdogs. I had a 4-1 weekend. The only play I lost was a teaser play involving the Bears, which obviously you saw what happened there. Surprising result there, actually, because I thought the better team lost. But at the end of the day, Carson, sit down. My name's Nick Foles. Hold my beer. I'm back in the playoffs. We're going to do this again. That's kind of what happened there. Some interesting games this week and some interesting totals. 3 unders and 1 over last week, and all dogs covered. Let's take a look at this week's action here. Initial reactions here. Indianapolis, Kansas City. Kansas City currently 5.5, total 57. Kansas City's defense against a red-hot Indianapolis Colts team. A team that stung Kansas. I think Kansas City had like a 28-7 lead or something at Indy way back when, in recent memory. And they end up losing that game. You've got a veteran quarterback in Andrew Luck against a sophomore in Patrick Mahomes. You've got a good Kansas City team. I think that you've noticed that they've missed Kareem Hunt. I'm concerned about Kansas City, and I'm from Kansas City. I'm a Chiefs fan. I have been my whole life. Growing up in Lincoln, Nebraska, you're 3 hours away. That's your team. Huskers and Chiefs and Royals. Nonetheless, I think it's going to be a tough game for Kansas City. Back-to-back roadies for the Colts here. This is probably the best team they've played out of their last 9 games, in my opinion. They could be trading some punches on the scoreboard. The first half total in that game is 28. It's going to be real interesting to see how that pans out, you know. With Kansas City's defense, they're going to keep everybody in the ball game. And bear in mind, Kansas City really has played 3 really good teams this year, playoff caliber type teams, and they lost all of them outside of the Chargers. Okay? You know, and they beat them once. So, who knows? That's a lot of points, in my opinion. Total about right. If Kansas City put up 36 points in this game, they'll win. Whether they'll cover or not, whether they give up 36-31, 35-31 final, wouldn't surprise me. Dallas at the LA Rams. LA Rams laying 7, total 49.5. Think Dallas' defense is going to play that good against the Rams? It's a lot of points. First half line in that's the LA Rams -4. I'd probably lean that way. First half line. First half line in the Kansas City games, Kansas City -3. You might want to take a look at first half lines here. LA Chargers at New England -4. Total 46. You think this year Phillip Rivers gets it done? He's 0-7 against Tom Brady, straight up. Pretty good defense. They rendered Baltimore absolutely useless last week. New England doesn't have a downfield receiver. I could only take the points. 46 seems just about right. New England 3-point favorite at halftime. keep thinking Brady and Belichick are going to slip and fall one of these days. Chargers are very well coached, have a very good defense, have a very good skill position players, and Phillip Rivers is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL and has been for umpteen years. And they have just won every road game they have been on this year. You can only take the points. Philly at New Orleans -8, take the points. You going to go against Philadelphia? That freight train? You take a look at the Saints recently, and their offense is kind of sputtered. They had 14 their last game, but they didn't play anybody. They had 31, but that was against Pittsburgh's defense in a shootout. They had 12 points against Carolina. They had 28 points against Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay's defense is deplorable. They had 10 points against Dallas, who has a good defense. Philly just has a way of just doing what they do. I think the Saints are the best team right now playing. I really do. I think Philadelphia's got more momentum than anybody playing right now. Something's got to give. 8 points is a lot of points. It's 8.5. It's 8 across the board in Vegas. It's 8.5 at the win. Halftime line is Saints -5.5. They're -6 at the win for the halftime line. You can only take the points. Even a halftime. Philly's defense, I mean, the Bears on the road are a tough nut to crack. They hung around and hung around and hung around in that game. They went ugly. Saints, I have not seen them really, really clicking on offense. Maybe the second half of the Pittsburgh game. That's the first time I've seen them play well as an offensive unit in the last 4 games. 5 games. Really? You're going to lay that kind of number? Underdogs on a massive roll over a TD? I'll tell you one thing. This is the weekend you're going to want to play some teasers. And you're going to want to tease underdogs. You're going to be real happy if you do. That's the best free tip you're going to get on this week's NFL line report. Get Indy through 6, through 7, over 10. Those are 3 key numbers. Kansas City has not put away good teams this year, and Kansas City's defense is freaking deplorable. Bob Sutton is the worst defensive coordinator in the NFL, bar none. Not even a question. There's not even an argument to be had there. Chargers, Patriots. Patriots look good beating up weak sisters, don't they? You have Phillip Rivers and that defense through 6, through 7, through 10, sitting on 11 or sitting on 10. I know it's Brady. He's in Foxborough. It's the playoffs. Same old, same old. If you didn't notice, there's some chinks in the armor in New England, and their downfield threats against that secondary is going to be a big neutralizer for them. Well, Baltimore is running the ball on everybody, until they played the Chargers last week. They couldn't do jack crap. Couldn't get a lap dance in Vegas with a fistful of hundreds running the football. Just saying. That's a great teaser right there. Those are your Saturday games. That's out of the gate. New Orleans, Philly. Is it prudent to tease that down under 3 and get the Saints at -2, or take Philly and tease them up to 2 touchdowns? Well, let's talk about 14-point or more wins, because I got some numbers here. I wrote them down so I wouldn't forget. Margins of victory. These are over the last, I think, since 1975 till the day. Margins of victory in the NFL playoffs. Between 1 and 3 points, 39 games. Between 4 and 6 points, 17. Between 7 and 10 points, 31 games. Between 11 to 13 points, 14 games. 14-point or more win margins in the NFL playoffs since 1975, 14 points or more, 71. So is somebody going to get blown out this weekend? Who's it going to be? I'm trying to figure it out. Maybe Dallas. I don't think Dallas go on the road and win. Maybe you take a value teaser and stick it on, get the Rams at -1 at home. There's all kinds of ways you can play it. First half lines, you can play it this weekend. It's going to be a good weekend. There are 4 football games with 8 very, very, very good football teams. 8 of them playing. Anybody can beat anybody. Anything is possible. You can't tell me that you would be shocked if Indy, Dallas, Chargers, or Philly all won. You wouldn't be shocked. And they're all catching points. Think about that. That's my initial reactions to this week's NFL lines. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and check me out, DocSports.com. I'll have a playoff package up on Thursday at 5 o'clock Central. We've had a hell of a nice little run here late in the season, week 17, week 16, wild card in the playoffs last week, 4-1 effort. You'll find some good, solid selections from me this weekend in the NFL. Best of luck.